Hello, I'm Kat Delaney. I'm trained in the areas of nutrition, herbalism, aromatherapy, and flower essences. I've been a medicine making conduit for most of my life. I also am trained in the areas of many esoteric studies, including the tarot and astrology. So if you'd like to learn more about me or read any of my blogs or learn about many of the services that I offer my clients, please feel free to check out my website, rootsofalchemy.com, and also my Etsy store, Roots of Alchemy. You can also reach out to me at rootsofalchemy@gmail.com if you'd like to connect with me to set up a time to get a reading. I typically offer 12 card readings so we can look at each area of your life and what's going on, and then we will also look at the astrological influences that are happening for you right now. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump into today's tarot. The opening card that we have for today is the Ten of Swords. So we have a crystallization in our minds around some way that we're actually seeing things. Tens are numbers of crystallization, and in the realm of the mind, it can almost feel like an imprisonment because the way that we're seeing things, we just can't escape from. If you look at the person in this card, they're lying on their stomach and they're rather destroyed by these 10 swords that are going down their spine, and it's like the mind is immobilizing the body. And so we have to consider this in our culture because we put a lot of weight in the mind in the way that we think about things and the way that we see things, and to consider the element that's associated with the mind, which is air and the wind, it is very quickly shifting. So when it becomes crystallized, it can be hard to get out of that mental space. And yet, wind does shift, right? And so sometimes it's just a matter of where we put our attention. And that's where the cards are leading us to today. Now, the second card that we have for today, which is showing up as the challenge card, is the Seven of Pentacles, and it came out upside down. Now, the Seven of Pentacles, you see this person who is standing with two different types of boots, and they're admiring their growing pentacles on a bush beside them, with one pentacle in between their two boots. So this is typically an energy that's associated with having patience and admiring and observing like how far we've come in life. But when it's upside down, the challenge that is coming through that I'm seeing for us is that perhaps we don't actually see how far we've come. Perhaps we've not actually been able to take time to recognize what we have overcome and what we have grown in our lives because we're too busy being stuck in the expectations of the world and like what we put on ourselves mentally. Now, the way that we're going to get through the challenge is the High Priestess. The High Priestess is a major arcana card that is associated with the moon energy. Today we have the moon and Jupiter in conjunction. So we have Jupiter, which is considered the sun behind the sun, and we have the moon, which is our emotional sense of self and experience, in conjunction. So it's like today we can take the opportunity to ask for help in a bigger way, like ask for help from our higher self, ask for help from the greater universe, ask for help from, the greater realms to lift whatever it is that's imprisoning us off of us, and to also help us gain clarity around this situation, because ultimately tens reduce to a number 1, right? 1 and 0 is a 1. So it's a new beginning if we can get some clarity from it. And I think that that's what the moon is going to offer us if we can ask for help and allow for time to reveal that to us. Now, consider that we're in a balsamic moon right now, which means that the moon is waning. It's starting to go dark, and you can see it in the morning, which was so delightful and beautiful to see this morning. But it's going to go dark. But right now it's in that space with Jupiter, which can help us to let go of something. And then it's going to move into a new moon, which is going to be happening on the 11th. And during that new moon, it's going to be in conjunction with Venus and Mercury and the sun. So we have this energy coming together, which is actually like in conjunction together. It's grouping in our lives that's going to be taking that wish forward into that fiery space of Aries and planting that seed for new beginnings in our life. Now, when that moon is actually going to go through a 6-month cycle and be full in Aries 6 months from now, we'll actually get to see the manifestation of what we're actually putting into the universe to actually manifest and create, like that wish that we actually want to put out there. But we have to let go of how we see things sometimes. We have to let go of the limitations that we imprison ourselves with, right? So the moon is bringing that up, and consider that we have this energy of Venus and Mercury and the sun, which are going to be moving together out of Aries toward Taurus pretty soon here, and they're going to be in conjunction with Uranus, which is the planet of change. And then when we're at a full moon in just a couple weeks, the full moon is going to be in Scorpio, and it's going to be in opposition to all that energy in Uranus. So we're going to have some really big shifts and changes happening because of that alignment happening astrologically. So big stuff came through with the tarot today. Now, the overall energy that ultimately is that we're sitting with today, if you find yourself in this place of like mental paralysis, is put your feet on the ground. The Page of Pentacles is energetic associated with Virgo, which is taking care of practical things, which is taking care of your daily routines, taking care of the body, taking care of the self, eating right, taking care of the little things. And when we take care of little things, we don't spend so much attention and time in the mental part of our being. And so in that way, it grounds us, and it can make us feel grounded to be outside and with nature and experiencing nature, and possibly even just taking something in other than what the mind wants to take in on its own. So that is the tarot reading for today. If you would like a personal reading with me, please feel free to reach out. I send you so much love today as we are going through all of this, and I do definitely encourage you to sit with what you want to let go of and give up, as far as like what you actually want to give to God or the universe or the pixelated sky that comes in and we can see at dusk. What kind of mental stuff can you just give away and release so that something else can come in and ground you? And then we'll be ready to plant our seeds, and we'll be ready for new beginnings, because we'll be able to get out of the limitations of the mind. So I send you a good wish and so much love today, and I will see you again tomorrow. Mwah.